Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I introduced this tank to you about 4 months ago, back in January, and it has changed so much. And I want to show you, it's time for an update.
Just a friendly reminder that you can support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on bell notifications.
Alright, first things first, you're gonna see all this growth. It's insane. This took, what, 3 tries? The first time wasn't so great, and then I think I documented the second time it wasn't doing very great, but we stuck with it, and now look, it has come back in full. It's really nice, guys, really nice. I added some soft corals in here as well. There's some Kenya trees. There's a gorgonian. There is a toadstool right there. So this one, it doesn't look very happy because the macroalgae was actually growing over top of it. Same thing with this little guy, this finger leather. It was just growing on top of it, and I actually had to push it back and basically just push it down as well to where it had space to grow and get light. So I think overall, what I did here, I think it came out really nice. If you've been watching like my Instagram posts and everything, it was just a big ball of just macroalgae everywhere. But now, I mean, what I did, it kind of added some depth to it. And yesterday, I added some of this here, dragon's breath macroalgae as well. And I love this stuff. It's really nice. It's got nice feathery type growth. And the red ogo is doing really well. The ulva or sea lettuce doing super awesome as well. And even the pom-pom macro, it's in different areas, but it's growing really well too. Even added some callirpa, however you say it. And all these mangroves. Wow. So these mangroves started with, these 2 leaves right here. And I think this one might have had like 3 leaves. But wow, look at it. You know what it's growing under? This is a desk lamp with an LED grow light bulb that I picked up at Lowe's. And it's all that's growing these mangroves right now. But they are growing so tall, the lamp is already fully extended, so I might have to get some type of light to hang underneath here, which is really awesome too. We just set this up not long ago. Cool little space and everything. Thinking about adding some tanks down here and over here as well. But yeah, so all these macroalgae are growing under a $16 LED light from Amazon. It's cheap and it works. And this tank is running all on biological filtration and surface agitation with this wave maker. It's doing really nice job at doing the agitation and oxygenation of the water. It was like $60, but hey, it's well worth it. But I mean, overall, it's on minimal filtration. The macroalgae do most of the filtration. I dose some Chaeto Grow from Brightwell, and then also Neophos. I'll show you real quick what that is. So yeah, so Chaeto Grow, it has elements in there, including iron, for the macroalgae to thrive. They love iron. And then Neophos, because they soak up phosphorus and phosphate. That's what they use to grow. So that's why I dose that. I dose it 2 times a day, and it's working. I also am on the Moonshiners program with the other tanks. So at night, I do dose some chromium, cobalt, and extra iron as well. So I think that helps. Pretty sure that does help with the extra iron. Oh yeah, we added a nice little blue damsel. That fish is doing really good in here. It's gonna be the only fish. And we have a few snails in here, some seraph snails. They do really good work at, you know, eating some leftover foods in the glass and everything like that. The surface skimmer is doing really nice too. Does a great job at keeping the surface clean, which is its primary duty. And I also use Timmy Pure Blue Nano Packs in here, just to help keep the water a little bit more crystal clear and nice looking. But yeah, this tank is doing really good. It's only 5 gallons. I've probably only done like 2 water changes in like the past like 2 months or whatever, so 1 a month. And it seems like the leather corals really benefit from that. Yeah, you might see some hair algae in here, but that doesn't bother me because this tank isn't connected to any other type of system. So whatever's in this tank, I'm just gonna let it ride and let it thrive. There's even some Chaeto strands laying around in here in places that hitchhiked in on some other macro. But yeah, all in all, man, this tank was super easy to set up. It's on super easy filtration. That's all it needs. It just needs to be simple. Biological filtration, and then the macroalgae do the rest of the filtering of the water, honestly. They take out you know, nitrates and phosphates. I feed this little guy twice a day. So once a day is pellets, and then at night I'll do my frozen mix food that I made myself. I'll do a little bit of that with some, you know, aminos and things like that too. So yeah, if you have any questions on how to set one of these up or anything, it's, you know, well, that wasn't cool.
Please stand by. There seems to be some technical difficulties.
Well, all right, guys, if you have any questions, put them down below in the comments section down below, and I will answer every single one of them if you have any questions. It's just super impressive to see this tank from, you know, the very first day. The macroalgae, it was so plain, there was barely anything in here, which I have realized that if you're gonna start one of these, you need to start with essentially a lot of macros so that it can actually thrive in everything and robust through the changes that new tanks go through. So I think it's highly possible you can start this from the beginning with macroalgae, and it'll be all right as long as you put a good quantity in there. So one thing to note, when we first added the red ogo and everything to this tank, it did die really fast. As you saw, I was saying it was super beautiful because it was super bright red. That is actually bad. The super bright red means it was super stressed out and it was not loving life at all. So in reality, it should be, you know, this darker red right here and not a super bright red. Even in the blues, it doesn't glow that bright red, but this dragon's breath does. That's why I added it, because it's really nice and beautiful, and I just love the growth patterns on dragon's breath. And it looks like a dragon's tongue, hence the name dragon's breath. Oh yeah, there is a long polyp toadstool here. It was sitting up more back on the hill back here, but it looks like it rolled down. This thing looks pretty cool when it's fully open and everything. But yeah, this one's coming back from being smothered. It's really cool. Love how this tank turned out. 3rd time's a charm. Super easy, super simple setup, guys. I think anybody can do this. I learned from my mistakes. And if you watch the other videos, you can learn from my mistakes as well. And then you can get this from the start. We did battle cyano, and all I do in this tank, I dose bacteria like maybe once or twice a week, and it keeps it at bay. Keeps a nice, healthy tank. Bacteria and biological filtration is super important and key to any successful tank. Alright guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update on this 5-gallon macroalgae tank. I do have to ask you a question though. If you were to add any more macroalgae to this tank, what would it be? I have some ideas, but I want to hear what you think. And on that note guys, once again, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments down below and I will answer them the best I can. Have a good day, and remember, just reef.